Hey everybody, it's Kim Peterson of Uniquely Savvy, personal brand and style strategist, championing your brand identity and style for game-changing success. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to work with Tina Mitchell and realtors at Tina Mitchell's Power Hour, and we talked about how to position and package your brand for accelerated success through the 7 essentials for building your personal brand for accelerated success. And I wanted to share with you some case studies and also a quick review. So very quickly, the very big idea is taking ownership of you as your brand and uniquely packaging you for differentiation is your compass to achieving greater success, confidence, and fulfillment with greater ease. That is the big idea. And during our time together, I wanted you all to have 3 takeaways. Number 1, that mining your truth reveals your unique genius, your strengths, your brand promise of value. 2, a defined elevator speech helps you speak with confidence and clarity, sharing your message so that you can attract the right clients. And 3, dressing to align with your personal brand message and story will strengthen your first impressions, will help you articulate your value and communicate your trustworthiness and your competence, and it will set you up for success, increasing your bottom line. Now, there are 3 case studies in particular that I want to share with all of you. And then there will be some more before and afters and things in case you want to take a look at that. So takeaway number 1, mining your truth unearths your unique genius. It was during this point that I said this is the time that you reconnect with the truth of your story, your skills, your talents, your unique set of experiences, because there is no one else, even if all of you are realtors, there is no one else who brings the net sum of your unique experiences to the table. When you stop and pause and consciously connect to your unique value of proposition and all of the things that make you different, you're better able to then begin to come up with the messaging for your brand. I'm not going to go over all of this, but when you all heard my story, what you could hear is, wow, she said 30 years of industry experience. She's a 17-year CEO, brand and style strategist who started her business homeless 17 years ago. After having championed herself, she now knows how to champion others, not just in how to dress for success, but also into building their personal brands for sustainability and for making an impact in business. Yes, I'm decisive and discerning, both right brain and left brain with the strategy and the creativity. But what you get with me as a stylist that does also separate me from other stylists and image consultants and brand consultants is my lived-in experience. Yes, I have had my own dramatic transformation. You saw pictures. I never felt comfortable or confident in my own skin. So I know what that feels like. I know how that feels sort of suffocating and how that eliminates opportunities for you because you just say no. And so I work with people to shop, to understand best practices for their shape and style and bring it all together. But there's definitely the confidence building and investing in your personal development piece, which is what I really bring to the table. And then as a brand strategist, again, I started my business 17 years ago, homeless. So I know what it takes to help you clearly articulate your value, to help you with some business strategy and help you to get your message so that you can clearly articulate it. What I want you to know is that certainly if I can do this, so can you. There's a lot of story in there that I didn't share, but that's the takeaway. The example is that when you mine your truth as a realtor, you too will see what's different than you, even though you are in a very competitive real estate market today with thousands of other realtors. Takeaway number 2, a well-defined elevator speech helps you speak with confidence and increase your bottom line. This is JR of Better Properties down in the South End. And what I want you to know about JR is he has been in real estate, I think, for 11 years. And he's really great about getting referrals, but the lack of confidence came into play when he would have to tell people what he did and how he could add value to them. And the lack of confidence came when he wasn't able to clearly articulate that in a way that had people say, yes, I want to work with you. So he invested in my personal branding workshop, and one of his main goals was to create that authentic elevator speech. And within 3 weeks, he had an ROI of $8,000. And here's the quick story on that. He determined in the workshop what was unique about him. He is a trusted advisor, but he's helping people invest in their real estate needs, not just for themselves individually, but for their families. And it was very articulate. And he was in a Safeway buying some fruit for his aunt. He didn't know how to pick out this pineapple, so he was talking to a young couple. Come to find out, the young couple was pre-approved for a loan and had no real estate agent. So he reached deep for courage and for boldness and practiced his elevator speech in a very authentic way, and they were so enthusiastic. They said, yes, we want to work with you. What's our next steps? And in one transaction alone, within 3 weeks, he had an ROI of $8,000. That's how important having a quick, cohesive, and concise elevator speech is. What is your elevator speech? And what do you do, and how do you deliver results? And can you clearly articulate your value? Takeaway number 3, this case study is regarding Sandy Tampa of Windermere. And takeaway number 3 is dressing and brand alignment sets you up for success and increases your bottom line. Sandy says, hiring you has been one of my best investments. Sandy and I have worked together several times, but when she really wanted to do a rebrand, we did color analysis, body analysis, we got into her closet, but before we did any of that, and we also went shopping, but before we did any of that, what we did is we defined her brand. You know, who are you? What is your identity? What are you known for? What do you want to be known for? And what are your natural talents and leadership skills and strengths? And then once we found out all of that, here's the secret sauce. Then we translated all of that into her visual presence and her appearance. And she said the benefits ran deep. After we went shopping, she said, first, it's the gift of time. She could get ready in just a few minutes for work and be able to dress confidently for each client. The gift of confidence. She felt like she could take on the world. And lastly, the gift of the best year yet. She had set an audacious goal for herself in 2014, wanted to have a 40% increase over her revenue in real estate, and she did it. She did it. And so can you. The great news is she turned around in 2015 and she had another 40% increase. Way to go, Sandy. Sandy really aligned her speech, her actions, her look, and her time and her energy. She really aligned that with her brand of her. Remember, you are your brand, so you want everything to align, and that in turn is going to set you up for success and help you achieve an increase in your bottom line. Here's some more people you might know really quickly. Here is Elizabeth Peterson, who has been in with Chicago Title. She's a sales exec, and here she is before, and she said, I just want to polish up, and here she is in the after. She said, I exceeded my revenue goals by 30%, and she had her best year ever. And again, she's been in the industry with the same company, I think she said over 20 years. Her services she enlisted Uniquely Savvy for: personal branding, style, body, and color analysis to figure out best practices, and then we shopped. We put her on the fast track and we shopped to pull it all together. Again, she said, I exceeded my revenue goals by 30% based on my increased commissions alone. Again, Kim gave me a better ROI than I could have ever imagined. Way to go, Elizabeth. Oh, and then I talked to her just a couple weeks ago, and she said, Kim, forget about last year. I am blowing that 30% out of the water. So she's having an amazing year here again this year. Okay, JR, again, he wanted to increase his sales, increase his confidence to share what he does and harness more effectively his personal brand. So he went through a couple of the workshops that Uniquely Savvy offers. He enlisted my help as a private coach, and he said, I have more than doubled my income. That's JR. So what's next is, as you know, if you were in the training, the Power Hour, there was so much more, but I just wanted to give you some quick ideas. So if you're feeling like, gosh, I want to increase my bottom line, I want to increase my personal effectiveness, I want to increase and enhance my professional presence in my wardrobe, which is your brand packaging. If you need help creating your elevator pitch to be cohesive, authentic, and articulate, then August 2nd from 11 to 3 p.m. I have this upcoming workshop at Windermere Yarrow Bay. Windermere Yarrow Bay. Call me if you want more details, 425-503-9885. 425-503-9885. Let's see if I can get you some more visuals here. Here's some more case studies and before and afters. What I want you to know, this tip is, research indicates that clothes do influence your performance. As a matter of fact, is the more formally that you're dressed, the more your abstract thinking increases. So if you have listing presentations, if you're in negotiations, then the more formally you can dress, the better you're helping with in terms of brain science. So what you want to do is you want to know first who you are, who your clients are, and what you want that outcome to be, and you want to dress accordingly. We talked about that. You want to then, after you have that in your mind's eye, get into your closet and see what you should be wearing. Now here's Dan Wingard. We talked about him as well. He first took my workshop and he said, I developed awareness and learned how to have a consistency, constancy, and clarity of message online and off so that people could learn to trust who I am. So if you look at these images, Dan on the far left is just how he would show up on a day-to-day basis, yet he is a musician and a leadership coach in addition to being a real estate broker at that time. So the middle picture is more of his creative side, his musician side, and then the far right is an ensemble we created that really reflected his leadership role as a as a real estate broker. So you can see how we translated his creativity, the attribute of leadership, but yet approachable. Just to name a few, this is how we translated it so that his visual representation communicated those attributes. Mark Whitten, when he was a corporate VP at Microsoft, he enlisted me to help him get stage ready and get ready for the E3 Summit and press release conference. We worked together a couple of times, and he said, I really enjoyed working with Kim. Not only did she quickly understand my style and needs, but she also did an incredible amount of legwork. When we met to go over the options, she had a great collection pulled from around Seattle so that we could zero in on just what I was looking for quickly. I love the look where we landed, and what a time saver. Again, that's Mark Whitten. This is Ellie McKenzie. Look at her curls. Best curly hair girl ever. So she is a realtor with Windermere Real Estate. And to the left is, we were shopping her closet, and we put together this look, and it was great from the pieces that we had, but they didn't really reflect her creativity and her coloring, and not necessarily her best practices. But she still looks great. But then we went shopping. She is creative. She has sort of a West Seattle vibe. We kind of came up with, she's got this geeky chic vibe as well. She uses a lot of technology to advance her clients and their objectives with real estate. And this was just, look at her beam on the right. That's just part of the shopping that we did, and it was just tremendous. Again, Ellie was in the workshop, and then she decided to move forward with a closet audit, color and body analysis, and shopping. She said, Kim did a fantastic job helping me. She taught me good colors for my complexion, how to dress this curve and that, what cuts, styles, and bling look good together on me. I feel like I just went through a makeover movie and I'm ready to take on the world. I also have a rockin' wardrobe that I didn't have to sell a kidney to pay for. And we're glad you didn't have to do that, Ellie. You're looking good. Get used to your new normal. There's Dan again. Deanna Nowadnik, I put her in here because some of you are also speakers in addition to realtors, and you speak on the side. So she's a speaker and author. She says, with your help and guidance, I've been able to pull together an empowering position statement, align my wardrobe, and move forward as a speaker. She's doing a fabulous job there. Okay, look at Debbie Page. She is an award-winning executive leader. What I want you to get from looking at this slide is look at all of those attributes as to who the brand of Debbie Page is internally. She's growth-minded, strategic, relationship-driven, approachable, confident, award-winning, empowering, profitable. She takes ownership. She's impactful and aspirational, and she has a classic base to her look. The point is these are some of her brand attributes internally. The goal is to translate those into visual elements of style so that her exterior speaks the nature of her interior attributes, qualities, and characteristics. Does that make sense? How can you do that for you? Number one, again, you want to go back and do those self-discovery questions and such that we talked about in the workshop or at the Power Hour Lunch and Learn, and that we will discuss and work through at the August 2nd workshop. So what are your personal brand attributes? You can look at all of these people, many of who you know from around town. There's Brock Heward, ESPN correspondent, but Christy Michelle, many Jill Nichols Hicks, many Debbie, Nancy Jutton, many folks that I've worked with, and again, they look like them. Someone, Ellie, actually the other day gave a great compliment. She said, I just have to tell you that she said, I hope you consider this high praise. I have to tell you that you do exactly what you say you do and what your website says, and you dress us like us. You're not doing a cookie cutter style experiment. You're actually dressing us, so that's great. But what are your personal brand attributes? And what I want you to do again is I want you to look in that mirror before you get dressed and look at it and say, am I in alignment? Is my look in alignment with my brand message? And if not, what needs to be added, changed, modified, or created to do something different? Cindy Cameron is a national director. She builds millionaire teams with Melaleuca, and she says, by dressing better, I have increased my income several-fold and enjoy my life even more than I thought was possible. What I love about this is it's saying, yes, I increased my bottom line, but I am actually feeling a greater sense of enjoyment in my life. Since working with you, I have been able to connect with my style and purposefully dress to meet each day. Cindy Cameron. Photo journal. Once you all shop your closet on your own, or perhaps I can help you shop your closet or shop the stores to pull it together, create yourself a photo journal so that at a glance you can look and see different ways to mix and match your wardrobe. These are just some examples. People always love to see how clients are moving forward, and this is just a couple of examples. So again, the how to roll up your sleeves, how to build your personal brand, make that cohesive statement, learn how to dress your visual style and brand, and get after those self-discovery questions that are going to help you grow confident and deep roots with your personal brand so that you can achieve greater success with greater ease is August 2nd from 11 to 3 p.m. It is a tax write-off for you if you are a business owner. So here's a case study from Wes Jones of Keller Williams. You probably know him. He attended the workshop and we worked together on his visual branding as well. But he says if you're having struggles or questions on who you are as a realtor and what you're all about, or you want to tie it all together to take yourself and your business to the next level, I would highly recommend Kim's seminar on personal branding. You've already heard from Dan Wingard. Ellie McKenzie on the workshop says, in the real estate industry, we talk about attracting who we want to work with. Taking Kim's workshop was a way to distill it down in a clear way and so that I can learn how to silently broadcast who I am so that I'm doing just that, attracting more of the right clients. It brought clarity of who I want to present, and now that I know that, I can take a holistic approach to consistently articulate that through my wardrobe and positioning statement. And again, look at that smile. You know, when you look good, you feel great. And when you feel great, you put out such strong positive energy, and people want to be around that, and they're attracted to that. So good for you, Ellie. Some of the workshop outcomes really quickly. You're going to learn how to leverage the process of authentic personal branding. Again, everybody has a personal brand. You have a personal brand. The question is, are you managing it, or is it managing you? You're going to learn how to speak with impact and confidence, because you're going to create your elevator speech so that it's cohesive and clear. We're going to go over actions and discover the role that mindset and integrity play in your choices and how they impact your business and the brand called you. Look, you will glean tips for dressing to communicate and reinforce your brand, because guess what? You might not look like Ellie or Wes or Dan or any of those people. The goal is to look like you. So you're going to get tips and strategies for that. And then lastly, live. How to live out loud. You're going to learn best practices for how you live out loud with clarity, consistency, and constancy, so that you really are holistically packaging yourself so that you can attract more of who and what you want and achieve accelerated success. If you want to work with me one-to-one on that program, it's $29.97, but the investment for the workshop is $497. Lastly, I'll leave you with this really quickly. E.E. Cummings says it beautifully when he says it takes a lot of courage to grow up and become who you really are. And again, who you really are is all about identity, and your identity is your brand. And what I want you to know is, no matter how competitive, how saturated the market is in real estate, there is no other realtor that has exactly your makeup and your set of experiences. We need you. We need you, but in order for us to find you, you've got to have that courage to become who you really are, and through the process of personal branding, share who you are through the way you speak, act, look, and live. So cheers to you. Again, my name is Kim Peterson, personal brand and style strategist, a champion of real estate professionals who want to increase their effectiveness, their bottom line, and their style and brand from the inside out. Make it a great day, and to your continued success.